Grace and peace, everybody. We're back for the second year. This is Dear World Christian, second anniversary celebration coming in, just having a good time tonight. I wanted to thank you all very much for all of your support, all of your encouragement on this channel, for what you've done and all of the energy and excitement that you've brought to Dear World Christian. I want to thank you so much. I had no idea when I uploaded my first video on September 11th, 2021, that we would be here on today. But hey, we're here. And I want to thank you all so much for being here with me, joining me along this journey. I don't know when you came aboard, when you came on, but I want to thank you nonetheless for your time. Thank you so much. Let's real quick, got a couple of quick housekeeping things to do, get things tightened up here. Wanted to make sure that everybody could hear me. So if you could, let me know if you can hear. Everything sounds good on your end. El Audio, thank you so much. I'm sorry, Baby Donkey, thank you so very much. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yes, thank you so very much. I do wonder, I do have a couple of things I want to ask, so it'll be an AMA. Just ask questions. I'll just answer questions all night until we get tired. Now, I do have a couple questions for you all as well, so let's jump into it. You can hear me perfect, Baby Donkey. I guess it's just going to be me and you. It's just going to be me and you talking it up, man. There we go. I did have a couple of things I wanted to I don't know why, man. Today has been a wild day. I don't know how I got down the rabbit hole of looking at different YouTube channels. Usually throughout the day while I'm working, I've been listening to YouTube to help me better understand the Mac, because I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm trying not to blow the thing up. Which, by the way, I do want to have a discussion about Macs, by the way. But Lindsay, good to see you. Good to see you, sister. Grace and peace to you. And that'll be another show. So I did put a poll up earlier. What type of computer do you use, a PC or a Mac? It looks like the overwhelming majority of people use a PC, which is cool. But I got some questions from my Mac users. So we might have to have a special Mac user only episode, because I got some questions about it. And it's my bride texting me, but she is not calling. She's texting me. That's my girl. That's my girl. All right. Tell her to call the girls. But yeah, what's going on, man? We got the Lou in the building. There we go. The peeps is in the house. What's happening? Mark, how are you? Good to see you. Grace and peace. All right. So Baby Donkey, I might need some Mac support. I found a channel actually that was telling me how to make the Mac look a lot more like your PC if you're a PC user. So it actually might answer some of my questions, because I had a lot of questions. But no, okay. So I do want to talk about being on YouTube for 2 years. I want to talk about some of you all's questions, all that kind of stuff like that. However, I don't know how I got caught up in. I didn't know anything about it, really. This young lady that got hit in the head with a brick, allegedly. Oh my gosh, that story has been crazy. I don't know how I got stuck on checking it out. So I got some questions about that too. But we will talk about being on YouTube and the things I've learned, all that kind of good jazz like that. Make sure I'm not missing any family reunion stuff going on here. Looks like good stuff. But to those that just came in, thank you all very much for your support, for your encouragement, and the such like that. On this YouTube journey, man, it's been 2 years, 24 months, and it's been wild. I never would have thought that I'd been on YouTube this long. And now, granted, I've had my ups and downs. Clearly, especially in the last this year, 2023, I've had my ups and downs, but I'm still here. So what do you know about that? And I thank you all for that. And I appreciate you. Susie Q's in the building. There she goes. Moderator. I love it. Par excellent. Thank you so very much for all that you do. Thank you to all the moderators do what they do. You guys make this a great experience. Thank you all so much. And now it's my niece calling me. Does she not know that? Does she not follow me and know that I'm on a live stream? What's going on with that? So before we get too far afield, I got one question for you to start off with. Are any of you coming to G3? So my question is, are you coming to G3, which will be next week, actually, here in Atlanta? And I'll drop that question in the chat. If you are, cool. If not, you're still cool. You're still cool. All right, so there's my question for you right now. Of course, I will be attending G3. Susie will not be. I want to meet y'all. I really do. We got to find a way before we're meeting around the great throne of grace, great white throne. How in the world can we actually meet? I would love to meet y'all. All right, we'll find you a conference. Baby Donkey, we'll find a conference for your week off for sure. But all right, so that was my first question. Are you coming to G3? I believe Lou will be here. So we're planning, April, Rick, and myself and K-Dub are planning a meet and greet at the conference. So we'll keep you all posted on that. I believe Violet from Berean Babes will be here. I believe Lou will. We haven't heard back from several other content creators. However, what happened? Okay. I'm sorry, reading something. All right, let me, all right, got that sent off. I'm trying to fix this, put out a small fire. All right, problem resolved there. All right. So Baby Donkey said he'll come to G3 if it's in Indianapolis. I'm assuming it's Indianapolis. Yeah, it's Indianapolis. I love it. Thank you so much, Susie Q. Thank you so much. If you want to support me on Buy Me a Coffee, thank you so very much. Actually, if you are a supporter of Buy Me a Coffee, you should have gotten a special video today. It was probably yesterday. I believe I uploaded it. It was a new Dusty Comments Unit video was uploaded. So please let me know what you think about that. Leave a comment. Yes, please feel free to email management any complaints to dearwokec@gmail.com. All right, so I know about, it was yesterday. Okay, thank you, Baby Donkey. So at least I know who's coming to G3, which would be great. If you are coming, keep your eyes open, because even if you're in the Metro Atlanta area and you're not even coming to G3, we would still love for you to come even to the meet and greet. We're going to do a meet and greet. I believe it's tentatively Thursday night, so a week from this Thursday, at the convention center. But you'll see information about it probably tomorrow. So that is that. Thank you so very much for that. Let me see, anybody else in here? Some good family reunion stuff happening. All right. So my next question is, all right, do you have a favorite type of Dear Woke Christian video? I definitely like to make sure that we put out content that people enjoy. So my question for you all is, do you have a favorite type of video that I do on Dear Woke Christian? And it could be something that I've retired already, or it could be something that I do currently. There are some things I've retired, but I'll bring them back. Don't worry about that, because I definitely there's one I want to bring back for 10,000 subscribers. And I'm hoping that I can. I knew it was coming. Susie's in my mind. Critical race theory bingo. That is it. I'm trying to find a way. The problem is I want to do critical race theory bingo with all of you. So you all will have a bingo board. I just don't have a universal way so we can all see each other's bingo cards. And then, of course, when somebody hits bingo, we can all see it and all know it. That's the only problem. But I might do it Chris Roseborough style. And we'll have to see. But that is the tentative plan. So I'm glad somebody likes critical race theory bingo. That's a fun episode. It just takes a lot to put together. It is a lot more behind the scenes than you realize. And I don't even do it as intensely as Chris Roseborough, because I've talked to Joshua about it, Chris Roseborough's son and producer, and we've talked about it. And I didn't realize all that they go through to produce the video. And I'm like, man, I thought I was doing a lot. So good to see you, Atlanta since 82. Hey, Atlanta since 82. Are you coming to G3? And if not, even if you're not, I think we're going to be doing a meet and greet next Thursday. Just saying, I would love for you to come, even if you just came to shake hands and say hi. I think that would be hilarious. Okay, so I see critical race theory bingo has a runaway lead at the moment, or bingo as a whole has a runaway lead. Do you have anything, other types of videos that you enjoy doing, whether it be commentaries or reactions, book reviews? I mean, I've done a lot of different types of videos, man. I didn't realize that. Something I did want to show y'all is how many videos I've actually done. I had no idea how many videos I've done until I looked this morning. Like, I cannot believe it. Good to see you, LaTanya. Grace and peace. Good to see you, sister. All right. And so, I enjoy those too. I enjoy those, baby donkey. But I will tell you something. I'll be completely honest with you. They're depressing. Andy Stanley sermons are depressing to me. I have no idea why. But I mean, I did the original. I listened to 6 Andy Stanley sermons. Okay. Then I did the second one, which was on the fundamentals of the Christian faith. It was actually painful to listen to. It drug me through some deep places, some very dark places. They're depressing because at the end of the day, you realize and you recognize this man is not giving these people truth. He's giving them truth mixed with some arsenic. He's giving them truth with a veneer of truth over an entire cyanide pill. I mean, it's like that. And you're like, this is depressing. How are these people enjoying this? Yeah, it was wild. So I'm glad that people like that. I will probably go ahead and finish the video series. I mean, I've done the series. I just haven't filmed my reaction to it. And I was just trying to find a fun way to do it so I could enjoy it because it was depressing. I ain't gonna even lie. So I got my next question ready for y'all. All right, what we got here? Mark is in the building. Idea Jason is back. I love it. Oh my gosh. Man, and I've found so many little free libraries. Our school at my church is actually going to be leaving next year. And they're going to be moving to another building, doing something else. And we were going to get, I think we still have it in the budget to get them a little free library in honor of them at at the church. So I will have our own little free library at Smyrna Press, which would be crazy. But there's so many of them. I find them all the time. So, okay, Atlanta since 82. Keep your eye out. April is finishing up the logistics and making sure we have everything locked in place. And you'll see an advertisement on all of our channels, probably by Thursday or definitely by Friday. So everybody knows. So even if you're not coming to G3, we'd still love for you to just stop by, pop your head in. I know it's going to be down by the airport, at the Georgia International Conference Center. I think the Marriott if I'm not mistaken, is what we said. And it'll be Thursday night. All right, let us see. Wait, who said they're wired for it? Baby Donkey said they are. You're right. I'm wired for it. It's why I'm in discernment ministry. I enjoy it, but it's just, I would almost rather listen to something, and they're long too. That's the other thing. Andy Stanley's sermons are long to be that vacuous scripturally. I would much rather, I'll be honest with you, I know it sounds crazy. I would rather listen to a 10-minute Kenneth Copeland sermon than a 45-minute Andy Stanley sermon any day. So let me see, it was 40. I think the average one was like 43 minutes and there was 7 of them. It was crazy. I just haven't done my review of it. I know I wrote it up. I just haven't shot the videos for them. So maybe I'll do those maybe I'll do that for 10,000 subscribers or something. And, but yeah, it was, it's wild though. Shara, what's happening, Shara? Hope everything's well. Thank you so much, Shara, for stopping by on this evening. And Mary's in the building. Put those tracts and New Testaments in those little free libraries all the time. We're forever putting Christian books and books for Christ-centric Christian books in our little free libraries all the time. I have no idea what happened with the notifications. I'm sorry about the late notification. It was saying that this was supposed to be at 12 o'clock in the morning earlier. I was like, what in the world is that about? So I appreciate y'all stopping by though. Okay, got another question for you all. Here's my next question for you. All right. How many videos do you think I've done in 2 years? No cheating. Don't be going looking. How many videos do you think I've done? I'll pull it up so I can show y'all. I'm embarrassed how many videos I've done. All right, let's see what y'all say. All right, got some family reunion popping off. Lots of highs. All right, we got 125, okay? All right, I like it. Yeah, it includes shorts too. Yes, it does include shorts. All types of video content, or what they call it uploads. Don't even get me started, Susie. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't even get me started, Susie. Don't even get me started. All right, how many videos do you think I've done? Ooh, 3. Okay, 300. Rocking. I see you. What we got? So I got $1.25, 300, $1.80. What's going on, Emerald? Good to see you. Grace and peace. Just having a little bit of fun. How many videos do you think I've done on Dear Woke Christian in 2 years? Mark says 750. Way too many shorts. All right. Okay. 266. Okay. I see you. 417. I like it. Okay. 556. All right. I love it. All right. Y'all ready for this? All right. I've done 1,138 videos. Why have I done so many videos? I have no idea. Oh my gosh. Why have I done that many videos? I have no idea. Yes, I've done a lot of videos. That's how I feel sometimes, Mary. Like, why do I do all these videos? But yeah, and I think Mark was really onto it. I do a lot of shorts. I've done a lot of shorts. Now it doesn't break it down into shorts versus long form, but I'm pretty sure I feel more than comfortable saying that the vast majority of those are. Wait, I think I can see it in studio. Let me check real quick. I think I can see how many videos I've done. What type of videos I've done. Oh. No, it doesn't tell me exactly how many I've done. No, you gotta do like math. Oh no, you gotta math this. Okay. In the YouTube studio, sometimes they give you little snippets and you can kind of explain it, but yeah, you'd have to like, I don't have any time to be doing any math on this. Let's see, all videos. I can see how many views. Let's see. Oh no, they do show me. Okay, here we go. All right, I found it. Okay, get rid of this thing. Make sure it's the right one. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I've done. Yeah, I'm embarrassed how many shorts I've done. All right, so here. Is that right? Yep. Okay, cool. All right, if you look right here, this is published content that I've published. Can I move this over a little bit? Huh. All right, I've done 764 shorts. That's crazy. All right, my regular videos, those are just regular long form videos or anything of that nature, is 386. So almost twice as many shorts as long form videos. I did 277 live streams, which is kind of crazy too. Wow. And I don't know what 5 others is. I don't know what the 5 others are. And then this is just bananas right here. I have no idea, but I have no idea what the others. Let's see if they tell you what the others are. It says I did 5 others. It's not like, are they polls or something? What is that? I don't know what that is. I have no idea what the other is. But anyway, so I did 277 live streams, 386 regular videos, and 764 total videos. I mean, shorts. Now the total here is 1,432, probably because I've deleted some videos when I got demonetized earlier this spring. So that's probably including those ones that I got rid of, because the Social Blade score of 1138 included anything, did not include stuff that was put up and then taken down. All right. Whew. That was pretty rough. Oh, I see what you did there, baby donkey. I see what you did. Absolutely. You were right on the money. You was right there. You was right there. I saw it. It was just like horseshoes and hand grenades. You're right there. Right there. Did I see Kiana has shown up in the building? What's going on? What's going on? All right, let me see. Good to see you, Abigail. Good to see you, friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Thank y'all. I thought I saw Q's name in here. I might be hallucinating. All right. Drop your questions. Put your questions in there with the Q, or Q for questions, of course, and we'll answer any questions you got. Kind of fun stuff you got tonight. Please make sure you follow the Dear World Christian Podcast channel. I'm trying to grow that one as well. So it's the same logo, but it's purple. So having a good time over there. And of course, thank you for following. Thank you for supporting my new studio project, of course, which is Podium Studio. Thank you so very much. Oh, y'all notice that she's not here. I'm going to text her and be like, why are you not here? Why everybody looking for you? Why are you not on my live stream? All right, there we go. Mary, don't you even sweat it. I thank you all so much because you all make this fun. What a great question. All right. So Baby Donkey says he met me through Chris Roseborough. How did I meet? How did the two of us meet? All right. So fun story. I was just like you all. I was always in the chat, always in the comment section of Fighting for the Faith. And I reached out to them one time and asked if I could become a moderator. And from there, I'd been following them when they were doing a podcast. I even think I was following before I truly even got on YouTube. So it's been quite a while. Asked them if I could become a moderator, and they made me a moderator. And from there, I reached out to them because, as you all know, I'm Presbyterian, and but I don't make any shorts about it. I think Lutherans are my brothers and sisters as well. And somehow or another, we started a conversation about, I reached out to Kozar, which was at that time, he was much more frequent on Chris Roseborough's channel. I reached out to Kozar about something pertaining to Lutheranism. And we just had a conversation and said, hey, it would really be cool if you met Chris. And that's how it all happened. It was very organic. I didn't have any, I didn't release a press packet or anything of that nature. I just reached out to Kozar. We were talking about Presbyterianism and Lutheranism. And he said, hey, you should meet up with Chris, and he connected me with Chris. And I think we talked for a while, and we were off to the races. So that is it. Thank you so much. Get this banner out of the way. If I could do that, it would make sense. Jason, come on out. Okay. Great question. Thank you so much, Baby Donkey. Robert J says, James 1:5. How broad is the promise for wisdom? Does the context limit it to certain trials? What a great question. What a great question. All right, let's go and pull up James 1:5. And I believe I probably know it by heart, but I don't even want to assume. That's a great question. I think, but let me make sure. Yes, you gave me permission to answer what I think. I think God is the wellspring of all knowledge and wisdom. So James 1:5, and I'll just jump to that verse. It says, if anyone lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith. This is verse 6, without doubting. For the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind. For that person must not suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord, for he's a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. So again, you asked me, Robert, what is my opinion on it? What do I see? I don't see any qualifiers for the wisdom. It doesn't say if anyone lacks financial planning wisdom. It doesn't say if anyone lacks wisdom on how to do their taxes or how to select a mate. It just says if they lack wisdom. So I believe that since God is a wellspring of all knowledge, all truth, then we can come to God for all things. On the same note, however, if we want God to give me the winning lottery numbers for next week, though God knows all things, that's not something he's required to give me, because of course it violates some other principles as well. So I do think we have to be wise in that respect. And then even in that, we have to be mindful, like, are we going to be leaning on that wisdom? Like, for example, if you ask God for wisdom to help you with a particular trial and issue going on, are you going to lean on that, or will you always be coming back to the God of that wisdom, aka God? So I believe we can ask God for anything, any kind of wisdom, from who to marry to how to handle a business transaction, how to raise our kids, so on and so forth. However, I don't think we should expect, we can't mandate it, one, and we can't expect that we'll always get it, because I think at the end of the day, we know that God ultimately wants us to come back to him. And if we're relying on, trusting in, and leaning on our own wisdom, or what we think is our own wisdom, because we're like, oh man, I came up with this great idea about how to make this wonderful product. I can do it again. I think that's where we fall into trouble. So I don't see fires there. I believe we should come to God for everything, but know that it's his prerogative, what he gives us. And ultimately, we come back to him, not leaning on our own wisdom. I hope that made sense. Shara Joel said, why did you pick Andy Stanley to focus so many videos on? That is a great question. And I would love to give you a super spiritual answer. You know, the lights shine down. No. I live here in Georgia. I'm about 15 minutes away from North Point Church, maybe a little bit further, but it's in my vicinity. And I run into meet so many people who have been negatively impacted spiritually by Andy Stanley, North Point, and his false teaching. So it just became like, I just hate to see it. I hate to run into people who believe that they're converted, who believe that they are walking with Christ, and they're walking as far away from Christ as I'm walking away from LeBron James. So that was one thing. And then another thing is the people really enjoyed the videos. The people enjoyed the videos. I'm not going to lie. I don't remember the first Andy Stanley video I did, but the Andy Stanley videos I was doing like the end of last year coming into this year were some of the best videos I've done on my channel ever. There's a couple people that like are guaranteed. The community, the audience, the comments all love those type of videos. They love Matt Chandler videos. They love them. I don't know why. They love when I do videos on Matt Chandler. They love videos on Andy Stanley. I mean, again, some of my best videos only recently, within the last like 2 months, has the top 5 videos on my channel not been Andy Stanley videos. Only recently. Now, mind you, I haven't done an Andy Stanley video since probably March. I don't think I've done many, but the comments and the views on those Andy Stanley videos were always like fire. So one of the reasons why I know is not super spiritual is the audience really enjoy them. However, like I said, during that time when I was demonetized off of the platform, I didn't want to do a long form video. I was like, what's the purpose of doing a long form video? And I kind of pivoted off of the long form videos. And then during that time, I was watching the Andy Stanley for my next series I watched 6 Andy Stanley videos, actually 7. I watched 7 Andy Stanley videos, and it was depressing. I was like, wow, I don't want to do this. So I just kind of pivoted off of it. So again, I know it was supposed to be a spiritual answer, but that is why. That's how I figured out. That's how I started doing Andy Stanley videos. I enjoy Chris. Chris is a great brother in the Lord. He's an excellent YouTuber. He's an excellent pastor. I'm like, you know what? That guy right there, his congregation is well taken care of. The stuff that you see, the Chris Roseborough that you see on the screen is one thing, but I can only imagine like the Chris Roseborough that is responsible for pastoring he's pretty impressive. The one that I've seen so far, he's mighty impressive. All right. Robert J. says again, I invariably hear the Great Commission, Matthew 28, taught as instruction to the entire church. But Christ is talking to his apostles. Do you believe that the Great Commission is to all, and why? Yes, I do believe it is to all. However, let me pull it up real quick. And we're going to look at it. All right, so Matthew, and this is an excellent question. Again, Robert J. I'm going to drop your picture out real quick and pull this in. All right, the Great Commission. I'm going to just start at 16. Now the 11 disciples went to Galilee, to the mountain to which Jesus had directed them. And when they saw him, they worshiped him, but some doubt it. I do want to point out real quick, you never see Jesus turning down worship. You know why? Because he's the only one that should be worshiped, because he's God. But I digress. Let's continue. And Jesus came and said to them, all authority in heaven and in earth has been given to me. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. And behold, I am with you always to the end of the age. So my simple, quick answer to this one would be, this is directed to everybody for a couple of reasons. It says, all authority in heaven and earth has been given to me. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations. Now, if he was only talking to the apostles, the 11 that were there at that moment, then that would be a very limiting move, because they could only go but so far. They were only going to be able to spread so far. The next thing is, if they're making disciples, what are the disciples going to do? So when they go and make disciples, what will the disciples do? If only people that are supposed to make disciples are the 11 apostles, if that makes sense. So the 11 apostles go out and make 11 more disciples, but they're not supposed to go out and make 11 more for themselves, or 11 more pointing them back to the apostles. What's the purpose? And then also, you see this in verse 20, teaching them to observe all that I commanded you. Well, one of the things he commanded them to do is to go and make disciples. So I think it's fair to say that the Great Commission is for all Christians. And then it also coincides and goes along with Jesus' high priestly prayer in the Garden of Gethsemane that we see in John chapter 15, 16, and 17, his high priestly prayer. So I think it goes along with that Jesus said, like, I'm not only praying for these that are with me, but for those who will believe because of these that are with me. So he prayed for us, and he prayed for us because somebody discipled you. Somebody discipled your pastor who might have discipled you. And, you got my drift there. So that would be Robert, why I believe the Great Commission is for every last one of us. If Jesus tarries for another 1,000 years, then the Great Commission is for them too. If Jesus comes tonight, then we should be doing the Great Commission. That would be my 2 cents. Trying to make $1. All right, let's see. Yeah, I hope that made sense, Robert. Yeah, and Mary says it here, if the Great Commission is just for the apostles, they're going to run into a problem spreading it to the ends of the world. Yeah. And Robert just says, great points. Love that verse in chapter 17 about Jesus praying for us. I mean, he prayed. I mean, when you follow, if you ever want to be encouraged, if you ever feel down and you feel like, man, like, job isn't going right. The mailman didn't put your $1 million check in your mailbox. The dog, ate up your loafers or whatever. Read John chapter 15, 16, 17. It will lift you up from the lowest low when you hear Jesus, our Lord, praying for us. And then when you cogitate on the fact that he's our great priest right now, he literally is mediating on our behalf right at this second. So as you're dealing with your coworker, you're dealing with the HOA, or you're trying to figure out these taxes, Christ is praying for you right now. The same kind of prayers that he was praying in the garden, he's praying for you on your behalf. He's mediating on your behalf right now. So tell me if you can stay discouraged. Tell me if you can still find discouragement when you realize that the King of all creation is praying for you. I don't know. I think I might needed to hear that. Good gracious. Thank you. That was a great question, man. Thank you so much. Sherelle Dow says, thank you all. Have you been contacted by individuals who've done videos on IE Jamal Bryant, Lecrae? Curious to know if they've ever reached out to you, especially those in Atlanta. No. And I don't know. I mean, I don't figure myself to be like a big fish or to be of great value. I mean, I met Raphael Warnock last year at homecoming, and I had just finished a video on him and Stacey Abrams, truth be told. They're both alumni of the Atlanta University Center that I went to college. So, but no, I have not been approached by any of them. I have been approached by Andy Stanley people. Let me take that back. I do apologize. I have been approached by Andy Stanley people who actually sent a email to my pastor asking, is this the behavior of a deacon? And they saw nothing wrong with it, and they kept it moving. So that person knows that he can kick rocks. So he's got to come up with a better one. So I have had Andy Stanley people reach out to me. That's the only one though. Hey, again, Jamal Bryant, he's right here in Atlanta. I'm going to be at homecoming next month. Lecrae is somewhere not too far from where my daughters go to school. I would love to talk to him. I would love to talk to him. Off the camera, we only have to make a big deal out of it. So, but no, that's a great question. Thank you so much. What's going on, Willie Doc in the building? My brother, thank you so much, man. 2 years, man. Wait, it feels much longer. Hopefully not like in the bad sense, like it's dragging on or something, man. All right. So Mary, yeah, when that publisher clearinghouse $1 million knocks on your door, is yours. I don't know. I still like that Prince verse where it says the mailman jerking around. Did he put your $1 million check in somebody else's box? So actually, my mailman, I'm sure you all can believe this. I talk to everybody. I'm right. Duh. So during COVID, I worked from home. And I would work on a card table in my driveway because I just wanted to be outside. And like, my wife was like, you can't go anywhere. So anyway, I would literally like sit outside all day and work. So came to know my mailman pretty well. So every day when he would come around 4:00, it was a big joke. Hey, you got my $1 million check. So he said, no, I ain't got your $1 million check today. So it's just fun. Hey, you know what, Mark? I wouldn't be surprised if Jamal did go after April. I think I've said worse things about Jamal though, but it's neither here nor there. He'll go whoever he wants to. I mean, do whatever he's gonna do. But yeah, I'd still love to talk to him. What kind of things does a deacon do in your church? All right, so deacons are responsible for all the physical needs of the church building and the church congregation. Elders are responsible for the spiritual needs of the church and the church congregation. So elders predominantly teach. So like my pastor and associate pastor are elders, and they preach, or maybe they teach Sunday school or new members class, anything that revolves around teaching and admonishing and such like that. Making sure the grass gets cut, making sure that seniors are covered as relates to getting leaves cleaned out their gutters and stuff like that. The physical needs and the financial needs of the church is what we take care of. So, and actually this is part of what came up with the whole big deal. If you remember when everybody was getting themselves in a tizzy over what happened at Grace Community Church with the woman that got excommunicated almost 2 decades before. Well, of course, everybody's narrative was John MacArthur kicked her out of the church. That's not how a church works. They have a plurality of leaders, a plurality of elders. Of course, they have far more than we have at Smyrna Pres, but very similar situation. And so the deacons are responsible. And the reason I'm bringing that up is there's a checks and balance system within the Presbyterian. So our elders can make a decision, AKA they want to build a new wing on the building. They can make all the plans that they want to. They can get the building drawings. They can get a sketch. They can do a Lego drawing of it. I mean, a Lego building of it. But guess who's going to pay for it? That's right. The deacons have to agree to pay for it. If the deacons don't agree to pay for it, it's not going to happen. And then even more than that, if the deacons and elders agree, but then we bring it to the congregation and we show them the numbers and they don't agree with it, then it's not going to happen. So, or they don't like the building structure. They don't like, well, why are you building this wing this big or whatever like that? So there's some checks and balances there. So we as deacons are responsible for the physical building. Like we just got new cameras and new door system in the building that will allow us to lock the church remotely. So I can literally pull up my phone and lock the church building or open the church building from my phone right here, 15 miles away from the church. Crazy, right? But then on the same note, we also make sure that bills get paid and our lawn maintenance gets paid and so forth, stuff like that. So that's what a deacon does at Smyrna Presbyterian. I hope that made sense. Thank you. That was a great question. Ooh, goodness gracious, Robert. Do you believe that non-Trinitarians that still believe in Christ's atonement can be true Christians? Yes, but I don't believe they can stay non-Trinitarian. There's just too many. You have to do too many exegetical gymnastics and I can believe that you are a oneness today. By God's grace, he regenerated your heart and you realize that Jesus Christ is who he says he is. You're going to have to wrestle with, well, is Jesus the Father? Is Jesus the Spirit? Who is Jesus? And you won't be able to stay a oneness. You won't be able to stay a non-Trinitarian. So that would be my answer to that. What did I say about my wife again? Oh yeah, she wouldn't let me. You're talking about during COVID. Man, she was mad because every day I would leave the house every day. I'm like, I'm going out of the house for something. I'm going to Starbucks. I'm just going to drive around the block. I'm sorry. I got to do something. So yeah, that's my girl. I love her. My brother is a lawn maintenance deacon at my church. There we go. So yeah, we don't have anybody responsible for one task. We're responsible for all of them. So, but most of the time it's us agreeing to pay somebody to do certain things like a deep cleaning of the kitchen or, of course, lawn care. So we, stuff like that. Now, if we have a senior who needs a lawn cut, we've gone to cut grass, but we generally don't. We generally we'll tap somebody to do it and make sure it gets done. Because usually if it gets to us, it's usually in like a straight, somebody doesn't usually come to you the first time they need their grass cut. They come to you like 2-3 weeks after it's been past due to get cut. They can't even see the house, stuff like that. So that would be it. So we would usually tap somebody to get it done and make sure it's done right. I'm the only deacon. I'm only the parking lot leaf removal deacon. I love it. Hey, everybody's got to do it. We are also responsible for security. I just thought about that. We are responsible for security. Yes, security. That was crazy to ask about you and your behavior as a deacon from a politician. Just wow. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. You talking about the Andy Stanley comment. Yeah, I thought that was wild. But, hey, my pastor has been on my show. My pastor watches my show periodically. Several people from my leadership, my head deacon, my elder have watched my channel before. And I feel perfectly fine with it. I feel if I had any issues, I know that they would call me about it. So therefore, because of that, I'm fine with it. So they've seen my little comical videos about Andy Stanley. They've seen them. They don't have a problem with it. Today's episode is brought to you by water. 2-year celebration brought to you by water. All right. What did Willie Doc say? Great question. I have someone very close to me who I believe was truly saved and wrestled with this. He truly sought God for understanding and received truth on God in the three persons. Amen. By the way, I know you just might be coming in. If you are in the Atlanta area and you are coming to G3, please let me know. If you are not coming to G3 and you still live in the Atlanta area, we're planning to do a meet and greet on next Thursday. And as soon as April finishes the graphic for it, you'll see it up on myself and Rick's, and I think even K-Dub's channel. But if you're living in Atlanta, even if you're not coming to G3 and you want to just come to the meet and greet, we would love to greet you and meet you and take some pictures and have a great time. So just throwing it out there if you're going to be in the Atlanta area. All right. Oh, no problem, Grace. I hope you'll be able to check us out later. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. So Robert and Willie said, thank you. I have a family member. She won't discuss it because she believes she's fully researched it. I continue to pray for her. Absolutely. And I think at the end of the day, that's it. That's all we can do. We cannot bring anybody to saving faith. We cannot convince them. We cannot sway them, anything like that, persuade them, anything of that nature. We have to trust that the Lord is going to save whom he's going to save. Well, we can do our very best, and we can make it a prayer request and something that we're continually bringing before the Lord. But at the end of the day, the Lord is going to save whom he's going to save. Yesterday, where was I? I was at church. We had an installation service. So my wife texted me and said, there are Mormons in the neighborhood and the girls are going bonkers. So the girls were like super amped up that they saw Mormons, I guess, going door to door canvassing in our neighborhood. And my chief executive secondborn was ready for them. She said, my big girl said, yeah, Taylor was walking down the driveway. She was ready to find him, Dad. I said, well, what were you going to say to him, Taylor? She said, she was going to ask them, why do they have extra books in the Bible if God's word was already established? That's okay. I like that. That was a very good one. Excellent job. So thankfully they didn't come knocking on the door because I was gone and my wife had to leave. So the girls were here by themselves. But I thought it was hilarious because I totally believe Taylor was ready to. I think she would have opened that door up if I had been at home. I think she would have absolutely opened the door up. Bless her heart. That's my big girl. That's my girl. All right, what we got here? We got an argument about what? Oh, they're talking about the Galatians 3:28. There's no distinction between male and female. Is that one? I tell you, man, people, if somebody wants to make up an excuse, they will come up with one. That I'm convinced of. Okay, so Willie Doc says, what type of non-dusty comments have you gotten since the channel started that confirms that you're doing God's will? I enjoy when somebody tells me that now they know how to properly address or talk to somebody who's pushing woke ideology at work or a family member or a neighbor, whatever like that. That's always encouraging to me. When I hear somebody say, hey, I didn't know that this could be said like that, or I didn't know that this was not right, especially when the churches are on the cusp of going woke or on the cusp of embracing critical race theory ideology. When somebody says, I wanted to talk to my pastor about it, but I didn't know what to say, and now I have something to say. So that's a non-dusty comment that I really enjoy, that type of comment. But I truly enjoy comments that push back too. I love when people say that I'm wrong. Not a problem. I have zero issue with that. Now, I do want you to give me reason why, book, chapter, verse, in context, why I'm wrong. That's it. Because as I've told y'all before, I believe once I get you to open up the Bible, I'm going to let the Holy Spirit, the author of Scripture, deal with you. So all I need you to do is pick it up and turn it on or flip it open, whatever. That's all I need you to do. Because once you try to get in there and prove me wrong from the scripts, it's on the Holy Spirit from there. So I don't even, I consider the dusty comments. Hey, the dusty comments, I feel like I just did a dusty comment video, but I feel like those encourage me. Hey, am I going to act a fool with them? Am I going to be ignorant with them? Or am I going to try to be gracious to them? I got to be gracious to them. So, because I don't know them, they don't know me. And therefore, because I don't know them and they don't know me, I'm not going to act like a ridiculous person. I'm going to try to be gracious because I needed somebody to be gracious to me when I was ridiculous. So that's why. Oh, she's a hoot. Oh man, they're a piece of work, Susie. Let me tell you that. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What has been the biggest challenge you face as a Christian YouTube creator? Staying a Christian YouTube creator. Most of the time, if you're out here in these YouTube suburbs, most of the information and the research and the knowledge that you're getting is coming from a secular angle. So, how to, thumbnails and titles and this, that, and the other, how to chase trends and this, that, and the analytics. But how do I make much of Christ? So I think having that good information like lighting and cameras and all that stuff, but then also on the same note, being able to find a way to make much of Christ. So I would say the biggest challenge and the biggest blessing has been trying to stay a Christian content creator. And the reason I say this challenge and the blessing is because having people around you that will listen to your ideas and push back and say, nah, you shouldn't do that. So kudos to like Rick Caldwell and Edwin Ramirez. Shout out to K-Dub. Shout out to April. Shout out to other Christian content creators. Lewis talked to me. I've talked to Daryl King multiple times. Talked to Montana Viking. All of them. Shout outs to them. Having good Christian content creators around you who you can ask questions of and say, yeah, I don't like that. And I can't tell you how many times I've had people say, that's not a good look. And then also having in place that your pastor actually knows what you're doing. So I've had Joel reach out to me and say, hey, that video? Yeah, that needs to come down. Yeah, so I think the biggest challenge for me is remaining a Christian content creator. But being a Christian content creator, the biggest blessing is that you have a community around you that ultimately want to make much of Christ and are going to encourage you as best they can to make much of Christ. So that would be my answer to that. Nope, no totals here. No totals, Robert. Now I might start charging you, but you can keep asking away. If you haven't reached my quota, do you believe that the third temple is a physical, premillennial, or... All right. Wow. All right. I don't believe in the third temple. I believe the talk of a third temple is just really a distraction. I am an amillennialist, so I do believe that we are living in the book of Revelation. And I can explain that a little bit more on another episode, or maybe I'll just do a whole show on that. But I don't think there'll be a third temple. I don't think there will be. There's just too much. I think it's a distraction. There's just too much going on in that part of the world. I don't see a reason for a third temple, anything of that nature. I see we as Christians should be looking up for our redemption draws nigh. We should be keeping our eyes on Christ. And if there is a third temple, if there's a 19th temple, then so be it. Okay, fine. Jason was wrong. But I think we should be looking for Christ. I don't see any reason to believe that the next thing on the calendar, if you will, is not Christ cracking the sky. I see no other reason to believe that there's anything else but that. Yes, as Robert likes to say, as Chris Roseborough said, I don't ask you to listen to me with an open mind. That's true. I don't want you to listen to me with an open mind. I want you to be skeptical of everything I said. I want you to be mad about what I said, and I want you to open up that Bible to prove me wrong. Once I get you to open the Bible, it's a wrap. But rather with an open Bible. Amen. Rame says, Have you been challenged by anything you have learned about progressive Christianity, CRT, or woke ideology that was hard to swallow at first, but you knew it was right? If so, what? That Martin Luther King Jr. was a Marxist. That was the biggest yikes. That was the biggest wet blanket, cold bucket of water, whatever you want to call it, that I've experienced when, because, I went to MLK's college, the college that Martin Luther King Jr. went to. And when I realized that Martin Luther King Jr. was a Marxist, that was a little bit like, man, are you kidding me? So that would be my biggest, sorry, what happened to your question? Okay. That would be my biggest, like, wow, is that Martin Luther King Jr. was a Marxist. Because then a lot of other things start to make sense. A lot of other things, when you realize, like, who he was, his rise to fame, his popularity, and all that kind of stuff, that starts to make sense if you say he was a Marxist. You can't say that he was just an outright just country raised Christian. You can't say that. So there's got to be something else about it. When that hits you like a ton of bricks, that was something, Rob, that really, like, whoa. But I mean, it's true. Good question, man. Thank you so much. Willie said that's a great question, Rob, but I got a hot take on it, but I will let Jason tackle it first. All right. Well, hopefully I didn't step in it too bad, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be happy. They're going to be mad either way I put it. Either way. All right. What else we got? Thank you so much, Susie, for dropping those links in there. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Bible Theory. Thank you so much. Grace and peace, friend. All right. All right. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. Yeah. Okay. So I would recommend Letters from a Birmingham Jail for MLK. If you want to better understand, Chad Jackson taught me this, and I was like, man, you know what? I like that. He said, don't rely on speeches. Don't rely on what somebody's, what they're saying as the full understanding, the full orbed understanding of what they believe. Read what they said. Read it. And I said, okay, I got you. Letters from a Birmingham Jail, I think, will be a great one. And then the MLK letters. MLK letters are two of them that I would recommend that you read if you want to better understand MLK and why we say, one, that he wasn't a Christian. I know that sounds really weird. It sounds crazy, but he denied the bodily resurrection of Christ. I'm sorry. What? Okay. I understand he was in a church. I totally understand it. But okay, let's just be realistic. Are you trying to tell me that you believe Kenneth Copeland's a Christian? Are you trying to tell me that you believe that Stephen Furtick is a Christian? No, they're in a church. See, same thing. Yeah, I think if you really sit down and just ask yourself some honest questions, you will eventually start to say, yeah. Yep. MLK was lauded by Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger is the chief archetype of Planned Parenthood and eugenics in the United States, what we know as abortion. Why did she laud MLK, who was the supposed leader of the civil rights movement, to encourage the growth and flourishment of black families in America? But he's being lauded by the woman that wanted to kill and do away with those human weeds. Just something to think about. Is Jason a complementarian? Yeah, I'm a complementarian. Did I miss something? Okay, so Robert said, and in the book of Revelation, at the end they do give dimensions for the new heavens and the new earth, but the what they're what the dimensions that they're giving is for the new heavens and the new earth. I don't believe that that is for the temple. But again, let me just say it one more time. I'm perfectly fine with being wrong about the temple. However, I think we would all agree that there would have to be some major changes in that region of the world for them to allow, for the Jews, Christians, and Muslims to allow a temple to be built there. And where it's supposed to be built, there's a mosque there right now today. There's going to be a lot of problems for that to happen. There's going to have to be a lot of, I don't know what would have to happen, the full extent of what would need to happen. But I think there's going to be a lot of problems there. And we also just don't see a third example in God's creation. We see Old Testament, New Testament, first Adam, second Adam. We see the land before Noah and then after. We don't see many third examples. So we don't see a first Adam, a second Adam, and a third Adam. We don't see that. And I just don't see a reason for there to be a third temple. But thank you so much, Nakia. Grace and peace to you, friend. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. But I will say again, I can be wrong. I got no problem with it. Oh, well, if you, I would find letters, the MLK letters from a Birmingham jail. I'm sure you can find that in a thrift store. You can find it online. I just think it would be very informative. That's all. So you don't go too far. Don't dig too deep in your pockets. So we're in this economy right here. Yeah, like that's another great example. Like, what is Al Sharpton a minister, a reverend of? Of what? I don't know. Oh, $100? No, I'm good. I'm good. I don't have it in here, but I have access to it. I'm good. Yes, please like this video. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate 2 years of begging y'all to like this videos. Thank y'all so much for that. It's been fun, man. I cannot believe it's been 2 years. I cannot believe that. But yeah, back to Rob's point. I think that's probably the biggest aha moment for me, is just that, MLK had some real problematic teaching, and really about that whole time period. MLK, Du Bois. I've learned a lot, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of things I don't think we're willing to really look at and dig into. Booker T. Washington. Like, here's a perfect example. Something that, and I've talked about this on my show before. Every historically black college and university has a dorm. Well, not every. Almost every historically black college and university has a dorm named after W.E. Burghardt Du Bois. But very, very few have ones named after Booker T. Washington. Why is that? Why is that? I think I would love for somebody to explain to me why there are far more Du Bois dorms than there are, or buildings, than there are Booker T. Washington. I don't think there even is a Booker T. Washington building on Morehouse's campus. There's a Booker T. Washington High School about 3 blocks away, but that's an Atlanta public school. So I think that's interesting, but you're not going to have to search real hard to find a college that has a Du Bois building, whether it be an academic or a dormitory, and you're not going to, or an MLK building. Oh my gosh. So it's just interesting. I just think that's interesting. Emerald said right there, how do you navigate YouTube space and preach the true gospel without having your channel demonetized? YouTube seems to want to censor the truth of the gospel and the Bible. Excellent question. You're just going to have to embrace the fact that you're going to get demonetized. You're going to get, they kicked me off of YouTube for a week, and it was different. It was different. So that's why if you go to dearwokechristian.com, that's going to be my new landing page, so that I won't put all of my weight on YouTube, because I'm aware that eventually they're just going to kick us off. They're going to kick us off. Whether that be you got 2 million subscribers or you got two, eventually they're just going to purge that tank. We were reading through the terms of service today. A friend of mine and I were reading through the terms of service. And we all violate the terms of service pretty much just by coming on this channel and having an independent thought about various topics and sundry ideas. We're pretty much all breaking literally your thoughts. If I ask you a topic and you all typed it in here in the chat, you would all effectively be violating their terms of service. They don't hold fast to it like that, but then every now and then they do. So I'm just comfortable with the fact that, you know what? Eventually, this is going to be the end. And so hopefully I'll have a good mailing list so I can communicate with people offline, so we can build community offline, or rather off of YouTube. But I'm just aware that eventually that's going to be the case, where we're not going to be on YouTube, because if Christ is king and we are going to hold fast to what he teaches and what he's taught us, then eventually we are going to run afoul of YouTube. But until then, I'm just going to keep going. Robert J says, what is the definition of modern day prophet if you believe that there are any? All right. No, I don't believe that there are any prophets today in the biblical sense of ones that foretell God's plans or judgments on a nation. Now, we can say that everybody is a prophet if we're forthtelling what God has already decreed. So, for example, if I open up the scripts and I read out to you what God has said as it relates to, like when we read James, I could say that I'm forthtelling you that if you lack wisdom, come to the Lord, return to the Lord, and he will give you generously all that you ask and help you. Then I would be forthtelling that. And therefore, in that definition, I could be considered a prophet. Am I going to go around with that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I think what a lot of the times what people do is they get prophet and fortune teller or prophet and psychic mixed up. That's not what, a lot of the stuff that you see in the name of being a prophet is really somebody trying to be a psychic, trying to be a soothsayer, trying to be a fortune teller, of that kind of malarkey. So that kind of stuff like that, God is no longer doing that. I don't believe, rather, I do believe I am a sensationalist. So I do believe that those gifts have stopped. So I don't believe God is doing that any longer. But if he is doing that, if he is using people to speak prophetically, then they should be speaking similar to and akin to what prophets in the scriptures spoke. And if that be the case, then what they're saying should be found in scripture. And if what's found in scripture, then they would not be necessary. So I still don't believe that God is using, I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying I don't believe that he is using people to foretell something because there's no reason for it. That would be my initial. Susie is going to find this book. Susie has found this book at the thrift store. I love it. Letters from a Birmingham jail. I love it. Grace and peace, baby donkey. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. Or every major city has an MLK. Why? Why? Matter of fact, just read today how in Portland, Oregon, Nike is closing its flagship Nike store. And guess what street it's on? MLK. Like that right there was just so gross. They're closing their flagship store. Keep in mind, Nike's headquarters is in Portland, is in Beaverton, Oregon, which is right across the river from Portland. That's crazy. So in their headquartered city, in their headquartered town, there will not be a flagship Nike store because defund the police. That's crazy. Oh, and they're closing it because of shoplifting, by the way. Thank you so much, Susie. Thank you so much. All right. What did Mary say? Mary said that Todd Shannon, he got me in trouble, cracked me up. He's calling the ex-pres, he who must not be named, Voldemort, so he doesn't get tagged by YouTube for using, oh, that's crazy that you can't use the man's name. That's crazy. But you know what? That's fine. Uh, yeah, I don't understand. What's going on, Richard Henry? Grace and peace, Frank. Good to see you. What is up? What is up? Main stage. Good to see you. Grace and peace to you. Grace and peace. Yeah, that's my understanding. Forth telling and foretelling. So all of us, if we are reading from the scripts, what thus saith the Lord, we are forth telling what God has said. If I'm trying to tell you what the winning lottery numbers are going to be next Tuesday, then that would be foretelling and that would be lying, because I don't believe God is doing that anymore. Thank you so much, Brian Babes. Good to see you, friend. And never fails. There is no MLKs in the suburbs. There's no MLKs in the suburbs. They're always in the hood. Oh, I turned the music down. I'm sorry. Was you okay? My bad, brother. Here it is. It's back. We give the people what they need here at Dear World Christian. We give the people what they ask for, or they get what they ask for here. Oh, I don't know if I need the Little Rock signs, MLK Road. I don't know. Email them to me for sure. Richard, thank you so much, man. It's your fault that I'm here, and I appreciate you nonetheless for having me. Every major city that has an MLK is in the hood. I'm not mad at them, but I'm just saying, like, and it never, yeah. And I could literally go on a rant for 45 minutes about us's and how we take care of things, and then point our fingers at other communities, other people groups, and blame them for what we do to not take care of our own stuff. I'm not going to even do that. I'm not going to get into that tonight. Maybe. It's just amazing to me. Thank you so much, Eladio. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all so much. I do want to say again, if you're coming to G3 next week, let us know that you're coming. Even if you're just going to be in the metro Atlanta area, if you just live in Atlanta, we're going to be doing a meetup, and the information will be forthcoming. Get it? Forthcoming. And if that be the case, we'd love for you to come meet up. We're going to be meeting at the convention center to do a meet and greet next Thursday. And as soon as April gets the graphics done, we'll make sure that everybody gets a copy. So if you're here in Atlanta, we'd love to see you. If you're just in the metro area and you want to come by, it'd be great. Be happy to have you, and all that kind of good stuff. Maybe we can get Richard to come. Maybe Richard Contramundum will come. That'd be great. That'd be fun. But so yeah, that would be it. That will be next Thursday, and information will be forthcoming. See what I did there? All right, what am I missing here? I think I'm good. I don't think I think every major city has always had an MLK. I don't think it's like primarily they did it, just because they're woke. They've always had it, as far as I know. They've always had it, but it's just it never seems to be the example that we want people to see. All right, what do we got here? Thank you so much for dropping Edwin Ramirez website, his channel there. Thank you so much. Really? Denver had gentrified their MLK in recent years. Okay. You know what? I am team. I do support gentrification. I know people don't like that, and they create this boogie monster of it. But I do believe that in some instances, in many instances, mixing people groups is a good thing. It's a good thing to have a diverse people group to just spread, to share the ideas and to bring in new ideas and so on and so forth. Yeah, I don't think there's a good rational reason for there to not be a better intentional mixing of people, even in areas that maybe were predominantly one people group at one time. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine that in the 60s, this was all a Latino area. And in the 60s, this was all a black area or whatever. It's perfectly fine. Just like the neighborhood that I live in was predominantly white. And now it is a very nice mixed, diverse group of people. I have no problem with that. Zero problem with it. So I think we should strive for that. Predominantly because if you get your understanding of, let's just use white and black. If I get all of my understanding of white people from television and from news commentators and from the outrage media, I'm not going to have a good understanding of, let's just use Richard, for example, right here. I am not going to understand Richard very well because all I'm getting is a very lopsided picture of Richard and his people group. Same thing. If Richard only gets his news about the highly melanated people from the news and from television and so forth and sitcoms, he's going to have a poor understanding of me. But if Richard is my next door neighbor, if I live across the street from Richard, we have a much better opportunity to meet one another and say, hey, I understand Richard. Hey, I understand Jason and his family. So I think we should strive for that. There's no reason not to. Well, what's the reason to not have encourage a mixture of different people groups in a neighborhood? What's the reason? There is no good reason. Eladio said that. I'm sorry. Yeah, Eladio asked. There we go. Why is that not popping up? New York has streets named after MLK and Malcolm X. Sadly, the Bronx has a BLM street, and the opposite. Why did that leave? It is a conspiracy. The opposite side of the street reads Black Trans Lives Matter. Wow. Is that big street sign? Like, I saw the big BLM on the street. They have another one of those for Black Trans Lives Matter. Wow, they're going to have a whole paragraph written in a minute. Man, I do not want to be that. Robert said more than 950. Why is it so faint like that? More than 950 streets across the nation have been named after King as of 2022. Wow. That's a lot of streets. And I wonder how many of them are in the hood, as we like to say. I don't plan to be on Uncle Tom 2, Uncle Tom 3. I think that'd be interesting if I got a tap to be on it, though. I would love to. But no, not that I know of. Is it me or is that super light? I wonder why it's doing that. Oh, man. Is that Teslin? Is that Teslin? Is that the lady from the Breakfast Club? I see Mark said something about Teslin. For some reason or another, the comments are coming up super light. Actually, backed up on each other. I wonder what that's about. I have no idea why it's doing that. And that is something different. Hey, Kozar, thank you so much, Koz. I was just talking about you. The Messed Up Church podcast is Stephen Kozar and his beautiful, lovely wife, Paulette. I have no idea why that's taking so long. Thank you so much. Got to get that Basta in there. Got to get that Basta in there. I love it. So you got all your understanding of black people from, Richard said he got it all from TV, from Family Matters and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Oh, then you understand people completely. You're ready to go. Eladio said, wow, you said that it's 161 at Morris Avenue, South Bronx is where it's painted. The green sign reads two different things, and the one side reads what I placed in chat. Wow, that is crazy. Man, that is out of control. Okay, so yeah, I've gone down the rabbit hole of the young lady that got hit with the brick, Atlanta 82. I think that story is comedy gold because it is yet another instance where, you had the young lady earlier this summer that faked her kidnapping. And now we got a woman that allegedly has faked being hit by a guy with a brick. Again, like when I heard the story, it didn't make sense. I'm like, you don't hit somebody with a brick unless you are fully intending to put that person to sleep permanently. You don't hit somebody in the head with a brick, rather, unless you are fully intending for them to go sleep. You sleep, bye-bye, forever. So, and then when I saw her face, I'm like, something just didn't look right. It just didn't look right. And I didn't invest into it at all. But some reason today, I ran across a channel and I started listening and I was mesmerized and I went down that rabbit hole and I'm like, y'all got tricked again by yet another person talking about something happened that didn't happen. Because now, I mean, they've found the closed caption television screen video. The woman has a propensity of doing this. She's done this multiple times before. It's crazy. So I hate it because clearly the woman needs attention. And I hate that in order to get attention, you will besmirch another person for no reason and start a war, if you will, saying that men won't protect women when in actuality, nothing actually happened. I mean, it's crazy. So even when you watch the original video, like, I don't know how many people watched the original video of the lady getting hit with a brick. And she says, this guy just hit me with a brick and all these men standing around here and they didn't do anything. And you literally hear in the background, the guy saying, we just got here. What are you talking about? We just got here. You hear him saying it on the original video. And so then when they interviewed that guy, he's like, man, we was in the store. Everything was cool. When we came back out, the lady talking about she got hit in the head with a brick. Like, well, where's the guy? It was crazy. She didn't call the police. They actually called the police. She was busy filming it, not calling the police that a man just hit her in the head with a brick. So it's just crazy, man. I hate it because, again, the woman needs attention and she's willing to lie in order to get attention. And something that you don't need to be doing, but, it is what it is. Thank you so much, Coz. I'm glad that she says hello. Tell Paulette I said hello. Well, Coz, I told you I will help you, so you know where to find me. Give me a call. I will definitely help you. All right. If you do it, you got to charge people, Eladio. Eladio says, I wonder if I should teach people how to type the upside down exclamation point for Basta. Holding the right alt type 0161 on your keypad. Really? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know how to do that because I got this little Mac keyboard now, but I trust you. I trust you. Main stage. I think you're talking about that young lady that with the brick story. It is crazy bananas. Like, it is really taking on a life of its own. And I hate it because, again, she needs attention and she's seeking to draw attention to herself for no reason. Like, there's no reason to do that. And I'm sad that she's drug all these people into this debate about whether or not men should be willing to step in front of a speeding locomotive for a damsel in distress. No. And then come find out she lying. Like, or her story is suspect at best. No, no. And there was a young lady who did a video saying basically women should listen to the men in their lives. I agree with that. I agree with that. Like, that's one of the reasons why I try to make sure my wife has gas in her car before she needs to. I don't want her to stop anywhere that she's traveling throughout the day to have to get gas. I don't want her to do that. So she knows. She generally lets me know, like, Jason, I got a quarter tank of gas. Or if I ask her how much gas she has, she's like, I don't know. But she knows to do her very best to not go anywhere to get gas. I'll just go get the gas. And she, I'm every woman. It's all in me. I'm independent. No, she's like, no, my husband does not want me to be out in one of these places in Atlanta trying to get gas. So he wants me to get gas. He wants to go get me gas. She don't have a problem with that. I don't understand why that was controversial. So there was a young lady who did a TikTok saying that the lady got hit. This is when people believe the lady really got hit in the face with a brick. She was mentioning that a lot of women don't have men in their lives, or rather don't listen to the men in their lives, like their dads, their fathers, their brothers, uncles, whatever. And they don't listen to them. Like, you need to listen to the men in your lives. And I see no problem with that. I have a wife and I have 2 daughters, and I tell them what I believe they should do. And they know that, okay, daddy or my husband has told me to do this. I should probably listen to this, especially, for example, when the Mormons were in the neighborhood yesterday. My wife knows good and well, there's no way in the world if they had come knocking on our door that they were going to answer the door. Even though Taylor, chief executive, second born, was ready to debate some Mormons yesterday. But they all know, like, no, daddy does not want us opening that door up for them, even if we think we can debate them. So they know that. And nobody would have had a problem if they had knocked on the door and they'd have just said, go away. My husband's not here. Go away. My daddy's not here. They know that. That would have been it. Wait, what happened with besmirched? Wow. I was afraid to go all week without hearing the word besmirched. Did I say it? Did I say besmirched? I might have. Yeah, I did not understand that. And see, me and Main Stage, we done gone down the rabbit hole already. I can tell you went down the rabbit hole. Yeah, I don't understand how that story got out of control real quick. You said that, first of all, this is not 1995 anymore. People aren't hitting you with rocks just because they couldn't get your number. I was like, that was so weird. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't see somebody there that I really needed their number that badly. They didn't give me their number that I would hit them with a brick. I didn't see a woman there that deserved that. Trust me. Trust me. She wasn't that at all. And I do think that's going to limit, that is going to put women in a bad spot, because now this whole men are not stepping up to support and protect women, that false narrative now is going to pervade. So now the next time somebody is in a bad situation, that's going to come up. Like, no, I don't want to, because it's going to be crazy, all because that woman did that. And there's no reason for it. Hit a guy hit in the head with a brick. Like, what are you talking about? Kozar hit you with a brick of cheese. It depends, man. Depends. What kind what kind of cheese it is? And does it come with chips and salsa and a little bit of guacamole, a little bit of ground beef, so we can make nachos? I mean, it can happen. Cole said they hit him with a block of cheese in Wisconsin. Well, hey, in a couple of weeks, it'll probably be assault and battery because y'all probably have snow up there in a couple weeks, man. So, hey, that block of cheese could be frozen solid, man. Get out of here with that craziness. When I went to walk Stone Mountain one Saturday morning, I saw some Jehovah's Witnesses and told my friend, if they're still here when I come back, I'm going to engage. I mean, every now and then I see them in different like weird places, like on the bike trail, and it's kind of weird spots. Like, really, y'all post up on the bike trail? Like, that's weird. But oh yeah, Taylor was ready to get with them yesterday though. Bless their hearts, they were not ready for Taylor. Yes, Shar Joel, you are correct. Feminism did kill women are protected by men. I mean, to the degree that they literally came up with a new false narrative that all women are protectors and the women are the main protectors and providers. I'm like, how did y'all come up with this from this woman hitting herself in the head with a brick or having an allergic reaction to something? Like, that makes no sense. I don't get it. Oh. Well, Cole said they serve crackers after the assault. I love it. I love it. Okay. Is it the Chicken Little, Mary, or is it the boy that cried wolf? I think it could be either one. People ignore you that the sky is falling, or they also ignore when there's really truly a problem. So I think it could be either or, but I got you totally. Willie Doc said the Jehovah's Witness be at the local gas station. That's why my wife doesn't go get her own gas. That's why. Oh man, they posted up at the donut shop. I'm gonna tell them right now. I'm gonna get a 3-in-1 donut and say Jesus Christ was always God and has always been God. Bang, holla at you. They're gonna hate that. They're gonna hate it. Oh yeah, I can imagine Subways. Oh yeah, Eladio says I've seen Jehovah's Witness with their stuff on the subway main areas. Mormons were at the platform once. Oh, I could totally see that. Totally see that. If you're in New York and all that, man. Oh yes, the women in the bonnets. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The bonnet brigade. I don't understand that. And I see it even with my big girl. When I drop her off, she does attend a local high school here. And the kids, sometimes some of the stuff they wear, I'm like, how you wearing pajamas to school? Like, for real? Like, why do you have a whole bonnet on your head going to school? Like, isn't the bonnet to make sure your hair looks good? So when you go somewhere, like, where are you going to go to where you're going to take the bonnet off? If you go to school with a bonnet on, like, what's the purpose of it? It's craziness, but yeah, that is wild. Why is this doing this? Trying to see. I think that is all of the comments. Any other questions though? I want to again thank you all so much for 2 years of hanging out with me on Dear Woke Christian. It has been a blast. I've enjoyed meeting you all. Hopefully I'll meet some of you all at G3 next week. We will be doing a meet and greet. Keep your eye on the channel. As soon as the graphics gets done, I'll be pushing it out. So we'd love to see you all if you're going to be in the metro area. What did Atlanta 82 say? I used to see them at the Quick Trip on Panola Road. Wow. It is so wild to hear you say places like I know exactly where that is. When I used to stay in Lithonia. always asking to do what I to do. Do I want some literature? I told them I couldn't read or speak English. I just tell them no, I don't want it, but I appreciate it. That is hilarious. Oh my gosh, Atlanta 82, you did it again. Don't leave without talking about food. What did y'all have for dinner tonight, everybody? What did we have for dinner? I had some nachos. That's why I was thinking about nachos, Kozar. Chief Executive Secondborn and President Firstborn were making tacos. And I just grabbed some chips and made a small, quick nacho. Yeah, that's what I had for dinner. And some water. Brought to you in part by water. Yo, let's talk about those Braves, man. Come on. Go Bravos, man. Bravos been killing it. I think, is it Trina or Taylor? I think Secondborn is supposed to be singing at one of the Braves games, singing the national anthem. She told us about it last week, and I haven't seen permission slip or anything about it. So hopefully she really is, because then that'll give me a reason to go to a Braves game. I have not gone to a Braves game in quite some time. I haven't gone probably in 2 years. I think since Tim Frisch came in town. So man, I gotta go. But that'll be fun. I see spaghetti. I see paninis. I see leftovers. Leftover smoked rib and cow peas. I love it. Yeah, the Braves have been like doing a great job this year. Very impressed. Very impressed. I'm not a sports guy, but maybe I'll do a show because I would love to talk about Deion Sanders and Colorado. I just think that's such an interesting story. So we'll talk about that. Not today, though. Shrimp chow mein? That's something interesting. I haven't had chow mein in years. I could really go for Primanari Brothers sandwich. What is that, Susie? What is that? Y'all know that you can't be coming up with these new stuff, these newfangled things the youngins are eating nowadays. What is that? Let me check my, some reason or other, on my end, your comments are not coming up. I'm not seeing them pop up on the screen, but they are coming up on YouTube. How interesting is that? So like I can't take down a comment. Put up a comment, but it shows up over here, so I don't know it's over here. Wild. But yeah, some reason or another, I kind of like that story about Deion Sanders. I would love for Deion to turn the discussion away from himself onto the young men that are on the field actually winning the games. Now, taking nothing away from his coaching, because I think his coaching is probably top tier for sure. But I think it just would be good for him to turn that conversation, because people are asking him about himself and this, that, and the other. I'm like, what about the young men that are out there running the ball, though? What about those guys? Okay, this sandwich does look pretty intense, Susie Q. Thankfully, that's not nearby. Thank God. Wait, let me double check real quick. Make sure it's not in Atlanta. Oh, no. They're a little far away from Atlanta. Wow, there's a lot of them up there. Yeah, wow. There's none in Atlanta, so good. I love it. But yeah, I would love for them. So as it relates to Deion, again, like I think he has a great story. He himself has a great story. And it's such like that. But I think literally before I started this live stream, I was watching a summary of Deion Sanders. And I was like, man, I really wish he would turn the camera attention away from him to those young men that are playing the game. because they're the ones that are actually winning the game. Yes, taking nothing away from his coaching, though. Nothing away from his coaching. Only point out that they're the ones winning the game. That's all. Well, if I find a way, Susie Q, we'll get them delivered to Atlanta and get one delivered to Houston. Jason Winston in the building had a BLT with avocado. See, President or Chief Executive Second Born would love that. She would absolutely love a BLT with avocado because she is, oh my gosh. If we could grow an avocado tree, trust me, my daughter would be out there every day, trying to get some avocados out there. She loves avocados. And guacamole, anything made with avocados. I think they literally got some avocado ranch dressing to put on their tacos today. They love them. So, but yeah, those are my girls though. So I'm glad you like that. That sounds like a good sandwich, actually. Maybe I'll tell her to try that this week because she needs another sandwich for her. She likes sandwiches for lunch. So that might be a good one right there. Make a BLT. I think I have everything except the tomatoes. We have avocado. I got bacon already made. I might check that out. Thank you. Inspired me. My mother had a big avocado tree, Eladio said, that had nice sized fruit. Sadly, it was torn down with Hurricane Maria. Got you. They could really do well down here. Houston isn't the fattest city in the world for nothing. They really need to expand their franchise down here this way. Well, they might not need Susie Q to expand anything. Pun intended there. They might not need to expand anything. Houston is really? In the world? How in the world do you get that dubious honor? That is some seriousness there. How do you get that honor? Y'all crack me up. I love it. So my good people, I want to thank you very much for hanging out with me on this evening. And thank you for 2 years. It has been fun. If you watch this after the fact, we did a survey of how many videos I've uploaded. It's close to 1,400. Like, why have I put so many videos up? I don't know. So anyway, I've had a great time doing this. It has been fun. I can't say I would want to be doing anything else on YouTube. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't think I would want to do anything else on YouTube besides this right here. I'm enjoying this a lot. But I want to thank you all for your support. Thank you for coming to these lives, for the comments, for the ideas, those people that email me ideas and so forth like that. It has been a blessing. And you all really make this fun. I really do mean it. You all make this so much fun. Jason Winston said, bring Jason X back. You know what? I think that one right there is a request I think we should honor. I'm going to make sure I talk to management and see what we can do. I'm not certain what little free library he's been hanging out at. Maybe we'll go do a tour of little free libraries in the area and see if we run across Jason X at a little free library. That would be so silly. Maybe Jason X could come to G3 because, he was reading the scriptures. So maybe he can come to G3 and talk with some people. Maybe so. That'd be fun. I really do appreciate y'all so much, man. It has been a blast. And I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to get ready to bug out of here because I have an early recording day tomorrow at Podium Studio. I want to thank you all for what you're doing. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Today's Monday. I will be probably doing another live this week. I'll make sure I let you all know beforehand so that we can do this all again. Everybody, thank you so much. I'll see you all real soon, Lord willing. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace. We're out.